Right, good morning everyone. Now, this morning I just thought I'll do something a little bit different. And I was thinking, what? And I came across a video recently of some envelopes and notelet books and things like that. And I thought, the lady had made them and was selling them. And they are expensive, so I thought, well, I could show you how to make them, and then you can make your own. So I'm basically going to show you how to do the template, so you can do your own. And I might make some of them up so I can give you ideas of what to do with them. So I've cut some of this, which is a silk ribbon. And because it's frayed on both ends and I only need half that width, I've cut strips of 12 inches and then cut them down the middle, and then you can fray them so that both sides match roughly. You just pull it apart like that. Oops. So I've got that, I've done one ready, this one I think, yeah. And you know, you can just make them a little bit grubby. I mean, it's silk, so it's not going to pleat much. See, but we've got that I can use. And I've got these little sticky tabs, the Velcro, because we're going to need that for the envelope to open it. Now, I do have this kind of card, which is, it's an old booklet that I had, but it's great when I've done the template to be able to do the envelope out of this, if you're going to hand cut them and you're not going to make them in, you know, like a dozen, 2 dozen at a time. If you just want one, if you want to make a pack to send to somebody as a gift, that's what I'm showing you how to do. So we can use, you know, that one's nice, or that one, to make the envelope with, or even the flowered one. I like the flowered, but I actually like that one as well. I might use that one. But let's make the templates first. So I've got this craft card, quite flexible, but it's great for having the template made on that. Make that into a template, but I've cut it all out by paper first. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. Okay, let me just make sure I've got everything I need. So it's an A4 sheet of paper, and I folded it down the middle, and then I folded it down the middle, and on that corner, whichever corner you want, top or bottom, it doesn't matter, you're going to make one as a flap for the envelope and one as the bit that helps tuck in. So this flap goes in like that, your mail goes in there, and you obviously have to put your sides down. You glue that onto there, and then you put your flap down. And the way I got it to make, I'm going to use this as a template to make my template, so this is more hard wearing than the paper one. Easier to cut, to draw around and that. This and this has to be not the same. If you can see, this one's wider and then it comes in slightly, and I do that. So you have to make sure that when you've done your envelope, your flap, you've left enough to make sure that the bottom flap, so you're going to fold your paper. Let me just get one and show you. Right, here's my A4. I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to need a pencil of some sort. So, first of all, take your A4 and fold it lengthways in half. Like that. When you've done that, you know you're going to need a flap. I don't want my flap any more than that, any wider than that. So fold that over like that. And then, of course, this section has to be folded up. So lift that up, and you don't want it to the top, but you need it near the top. You need your room to get something in. So I'm going to choose that. So that's the basic envelope. When I open it up, it's a basic envelope. Now we do need the sides. So I'm going to fold it back like that, and then fold over that. You can measure yours if you want. I do mine by eye. That's good enough for me. Now, of course, this is the flap, So we don't need this section and we don't need that section. So take your scissors. This is where freehand comes in. And I'm going to go off this section and off that section in the middle. So I start wherever I need to do it. Bring that in. And you need to go in more at the top and in more at the bottom. But not too much. So it's just following that line. So cut that. We can turn this over to do this section. Take it into the corner, and this has to be more thinner. So this is just my rough envelope at the moment. So you've got that. So now this will go that way when it's done. This will go that way when it's done. You can see I brought it in closer. This will go up to there, like that. And then my flap will go there. And you've done yourself a basic envelope. But we don't want it plain. I want mine shaped, like I've done here. So then what you do, to unfold it all, fold it back in half. And now you can either draw this or freehand it. I freehand mine a lot. So I'm going to take mine halfway up, because this is the flap. I'm going to round mine in and cut my shape how I want it. So that's my flap. It's a nice pretty flap. I can, if I want, round that one off a little bit more. Again, that's going to be folded in. That's going to be on top, and that's going to fold down. Now that's nice, isn't it? Easy, not hard whatsoever. Fold it back into that half lengthways, and this is the bottom section. You just need it rounding off. So I'm going to round mine off there. I'm trying to get over the cold. Now what I can do, because it'll help, I've got this cut, I'm going to dip mine like that, and I'll tell you for why. When I close that, so we've got that there and we've got that there, it just makes it a lot easier to take something out of there. So you're done. That's completely done. Make that into your template. The next thing is like a letter page. Now that will quite easily, don't forget you to make it the size you need it. So let me just see if I can, I'm not sure if this glue will work. If I was just to glue that, I need a page that's going to fit it. So you can take your A4 page, that's going to fit because I've made it fit, and that will easily slot into there like that. So you can make several. If it's a pack you're going to do for somebody as a gift, make half a dozen pages or a dozen pages. And the way to do these is simple. So let me just move that out of the way. So this is what I call the letter page. We're going to fold it in half like that. Now you can fold this again, because this is only a template page that you're going to make into your card, which will be your actual template. So I want mine folded here and there, and you'll see why. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is to cut this and take the corner off like that. So I've got that. I'm then going to put a point in mine and do that. I'm also going to do excuse me, from here I'm going to do that. And that becomes your template page for writing. But of course mine is too big, although I can use it like that. And that will quite easily, see, slot into my envelope. So we've made that page. You can shape that however you want. See, so that's my letter page. That's going to be your template to do your papers. If you've got good at computers, you can do it all on your computer. Now, a booklet. Easy peasy. You take your A4 sheets, fold them in half that way, cut down the edge, fold them in half that way, nice straight edge. And you can then punch your hole where you want it, like that. That will put your threads in. So I'll just show you, because people like to actually see it done. And you can put some nice pretty ribbons and trims on to go into your booklet. So I'm just going to do that. On this one, you can write and do whatever you want on it. But we're going to do some. I'm going to show you how to colour them as well. And mine will be just simple. You can go and paint yours or whatever you want to do. Again, notelets. Fold your A4 page that way. Fold it in half. Cut down the long edge, and then you put the two pieces together like that, because it was like that. You fold it, you cut, put the two pieces together. Again, make this into a notelet if you want. If you're making this for somebody else, that's great, because they're going to enjoy. Let me just take some of these off. They're going to enjoy your hard work. And you can do it in themes, animal theme, nature theme, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But I'm going to show you how to colour the pages and whatnot. Just get all that off. Okay, and then again, we'll just twist this. Use ribbons, cut fabric, whatever it is you want to do. Now you can tie it like that, or you can do the loop where you fold this in half. So I'd fold that in half, thread that through, and then pull that through the loop. It's up to you. So that's another one. So we can put that one in. So you can make a whole big envelope and put everything in it. And then some postcards. Again, take an A4 sheet, fold it in half again. You end up with 4 sections. Cut down the folded lines, both sides, and you end up with 4 separate pieces. And then you just take one of these, or you can take them all together. I did all mine together, so I got the 4 pieces together, folded them like that, and then cut that shape out, and then I did it on both sides. I just did that, and then cut the shape out, and you end up with that. So they can now go in there. Okay, so that's how you do them. And now what I'm going to do is to use them as a template. So don't forget, I'm using this as the actual envelope. This is only my template, so I can get rid of them, to be honest. Sorry, my battery ran out again. So I'm just going to take this in a bit here, into that corner, and then take that round there. And then I'm going to take that to there. So I can alter it even though it's a card. Yeah? Right, okay. So now what I have to do is to make sure that when I put the fold in, the 2 folds match, so that can go to there now. So it folds on that line. and that makes it a more square or rectangle. Yeah. Okay, so now what I do is, this is my template. This is the card I'm going to actually use. And I just need to draw around it. Let's have a look. So I've got the fold point there and the fold point there. Fold point there. Fold point there. So that's my permanent template. So now what I'm going to do is to cut this out. I'm just marking out where the folds are definitely going to be. I mean, you can make these the flap more curvy or put a little bit more effort into it. You know what I mean? It's completely up to you. I'm just basically showing you how to make the envelope. And you should check out the coin envelope I made. So easy, and they're great for people who are doing junk journals and things like that. It was the easiest way possible to show you how to do it. And I've done lots of paper things. I have made envelopes before, but I like, you know, to design my own. Anyway, so we need that little ruler. So all I'm going to do is just score this. Why do I keep losing things? Like that. That point to that. Then we need this point to this. And this point to this. Fold the edges in. Like that. Fold the flap up. You got a bone folder, use it, but anything will do. Even the pencil. And then fold this one in as well. Now, what I've noticed on mine for some reason, this flap is slightly different. Yeah, I can see the shape's different. So I'm actually going to take this in a little bit more. Use the right scissors, Fee. I'm just going to round this off a little bit more so I can alter my template, because I've altered this. Okay. But I could even put a little dip in here. In fact, I have a cutter somewhere. Oh, I've put them away. I'm just going to do a little cut. Freehand. Like that, okay? Yeah. That's still not quite right for me. That's fine. I'm happy with that. And that's my envelope. I love that. That's quite pretty, isn't it? And like I said, you just need to put the little sticky tabs on. Stuck to my bloody finger. Right, okay. Yeah, it's gonna need gluing down. I'll put the glue gun on just in case. But that's my envelope anyway. Fingers are all sticky now. All I'm going to do to make the postcard, fold the sheet in half. And I'm just going to cut that. Fold that in half again. Let me cut that. Fold this one. So if you're going to make a postcard, you need thick card. I wouldn't suggest to make it out of paper, but you can make paper ones if you choose to. It's completely up to you. We need all these facing the right way. And then all I'm going to do with mine is to round them off. I don't know where my punch is. I think it's in the punch box, but that means I've got to open my big cupboard, and I'm not doing that because I can't be bothered. Well, you haven't quite got that right. That's it. That will just do. I'm fine with that. Now what I can do with this, I can leave that as the postcard, put a picture on here, and to do that you could just take some pictures, like I've got this one here, but if I wanted to make it more fancy, and I could cut an oval out of that and stick that to that, that's a nice card, and then we can do some writing on the back there. Right, the glue gun should be ready now, so hopefully you can stick this down properly. And I'm just going to use like a wood glue because it is easy, it's better for this. Well, it would be if it worked. So that's that. Now that will stick down. Like that, see? But I mean, what you could do is put a hole here, put a hole here, and then have a ribbon you can tie through. Or actually two holes and thread that through, if I can get this to work. And we have to match these holes up. So I can do one there and one there. Put that down. We'll mark this. Like that. Let me just take those out a minute. Oh, I've clamped them in, you twit. Come on, Fee. Should have done this first and marked it out. So you can do this on your template and then mark it out. That's not going to reach. That's not going to reach. Right, well I'm going to do it this way then. Oops, wrong one. Okay, we'll do it this way. So, if I had a little punch, I had one, oh, here's one. I'm not sure it'll reach though. No, I don't think it'll reach. Will it reach? Let's have a look. It's not reaching, no. Okay, so I'm going to have to do it this way. Mark this out on your template where you want them to be and put your holes in first. That's all I'm saying. We learn as we go along. Right, okay. So then what you have to do with this one is, if you wanted to put one of these in, right, just to tie it up, I would do a little bit longer actually. You would actually start and thread this through. See, like that. If we level this up, I mean, it's not long enough that, but I'm just showing you how. So you could do that, and then when you've put your paperwork in, like that, you can then thread this through. Like that. That's not hard to do, is it? And then look, you can make yourself a nice little kit as a gift and send that on. Okay, so the next bit, we've done the postcard that can go in this kit, like that. Now you can put the reinforcement around here, because what I could do is use the glue. If I put the glue on around the edge and let it dry, it's not going to come undone, it's not going to fray or anything like that. Or if you've got, what do they call them? What you put, the metal ones. You do it with that. So you put the little metal thing in and then put that in, squash it down, and you've got a reinforcement in your card. And that's what I would do. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to leave that on there as well. So we've got the card in there. That's done. Now the next thing is we need to make the paper. I've shown you how to do it. It's not hard at all. Take a piece of paper, cut your shape out, and you pop that inside. Like that. You can do several sheets. Then you've got the letter page, the booklet, the notebook, and we've done the postcard, so we don't need to do that again. So all of that can now, we don't need, yeah, we do, we need the letter one. All of that can now pop into your little gift envelope, filled with little goodies, and send on. Now these, you can add these to your journals. Don't forget. You know, when you're making your journals, make one of these up, put it inside the journal. Yeah? A beautiful gift to give to somebody. Handmade. Now in regards to the paper, because I've not finished there, if you don't want to send plain paper, you don't have to, because send something that's a bit fancy. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, take my mat, this is my non-stick mat. Now my paper is going to be folded, let me just see, folded like that to go in my envelope. And I'm just going to round the edges off. Let's have a look. I can do it fancy if I want to. Let me just do it this way. I need to fold that the other way. like that. It doesn't matter if it's folded different ways and then laid flat at all. And then I'm going to cut it, fold that back, see that? Just follow the line so it's matching both ends. Get rid of that. Do that side, it's cleaner. Well, it seems cleaner. Let me just give it a bit of spray. Where's my water? Get a bit of tissue. There we are. Let's clean that a bit. Not that it makes much difference. Okay, so we've got that end done. I might mean to do it a little bit deeper. It's not enough for me. So I'm going to cut this deeper. Okay, so that's one end done. Just fold it back because you want both ends the same. And then you can just continue going around it. So get the shape of your paper that you're after. And I'm just going to do this one as well. Oops. I'm happy with that as a sheet of paper. Of course it can be written that way or that way, but for now I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do with mine. Because you can vintage all of this up as much as you want. So I've got this one, which is the raspberry. So I'm just going to paint my page. Have it all matching. Well, you don't have to. That's a lie. You don't need to have it all matching at all. So now what I'm going to do is to dry that off. Now you can do both sides, but I'm just doing one for now. Right, so at the moment we've got that. Now I can crinkle that up if I want, because like I said, you're doing your kit, your gift. We're calling it the envelope gift kit. You're going to do yours however you want. I can go around and edge all of this before I put it together. I can do anything like that. I can add trims. I can add a ribbon belt, a lace belt or something like that. It depends whether you're having steampunk, vintage or whatever, mixed media. So think about and get all your stuff together and then get a few extra bits and then just see and play. And you can have it exactly how you want it. Now obviously if I'm going to write on this or I want somebody to write on it, they're going to need a few lines. So I take my little ruler. I would measure them out generally. you know, do it on your computer, on a page, on a Word document, make it up yourself, and then print it out, then cut the shape you want, and then add it to your gift pack if you're giving it as a gift. I'm only using this to show you what I mean. You can use pen, pencil, ink, you know, do calligraphy on it, whatever you want to do. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm just giving you ideas, that's all. So obviously, and then if you want to do both sides, you can do that. That can then be folded in half and popped into your envelope. See what I mean? Edge it all as well. I have some somewhere. I don't know where I've put them. I've not got them at hand, I don't think. Let's have a look. No. I mean, you can do your own little... I don't know if this pen will work. You know, you can, like, do your own little flowers here, there and everywhere. And decorate your pages yourself. Now, I'm just showing you to give you the ideas. Yeah? And you can do, like, and colour these in yourself. You know, it's up to you. And then you can do like a little squirrel. See what I mean? You can do all of that yourself. Just think about it. Look on the internet. There's lots of pictures of things that you can actually copy. You could do drawings on it. You could do scenery as background. Print some off as they, you know, you can get loads of downloadable printed paper, I can tell you that. And then just cut the shape out and add it to your little gift pack. But I think, you know, that's a nice little gift pack to give out. So they've got note paper. You've note paper, you've cards, again, more writing paper, colour it all so it's all matching, or use the same card. A letter page, notelet book, with including all your little bits and pieces. Again, put your little, it's not a brad, it's called, I know you're screaming at the screen, telling me what it is, I can't remember, them little things that you put in, eyelet. Yeah, to protect them. Cut all these fancy. Weekly diary. Name them. Give them all titles. And I am damn sure that somebody would love a little gift like that. Handmade. Spend time on it. Or just simply download printable paperwork off the internet, because that's what you can do. That you are allowed to do that. And then obviously you've made yourself, either for you, for your junk journal, or as a gift, a little set. If I wasn't closing the shop, I would make several up blanks for you lot to play around with. But that's it. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.